Happy Easter, everybody. Welcome to tonight's team call on the 2nd of April. Hope you've had a lovely bank holiday Monday. We did some trampolining with the kids at a trampoline park. That was a lot of fun. Although I can't really walk now. Didn't realise I was getting this old. I'm not old, I'm young. Last month was amazing. So we've got some exciting news for lots of you, which we'll share in a bit. So we've got a really exciting team call tonight. So just a few announcements, just going over the same ones really because they're coming up. Boyd Truman will be doing he'll be on next week's team call at 8:30. So come to that. He is definitely slightly more interesting than me. And then we've got the contingent class, Rebecca and Emily's, on the April 18th. Don't forget to book convention and business training. It's in the UK. If any of you have not booked again, I say it every week. I know at the end when it's going to come, I don't have a ticket, I need one. So please book your ticket. And then, I did delete that. I don't know why it's there. Anyway, April promotions. So we've got some cool promotions this month. So here's the worst of them. Product of the month, which is great, is Breathe. So if you spend 125 PV or over, you get a free Breathe. So a 5ml bottle, I might add. But still, that's a great gift. You save 10% on Tri-Ease. It's coming up to hay fever season. So Tri-Ease is a great hay fever blend. It's called the seasonal blend, and it's very, very good. They're little pills. So they come in like little, I don't think they're gelatin capsules, but they might be. I have to check. Anyone on here know if they're gelatin capsules? I'm sorry, I don't know that stuff.
Yeah, Nathan, if you look on your slide, it says they're soft gel.
Is that a gelatin capsule then?
I don't know if it just says soft gel on the front of your bottle there.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I meant, I do know that part, actually. I know they're soft gels. I just meant I'm not sure if they're gelatin free or not gelatin. I don't know.
No, they are gelatin.
They are. Okay, thank you, Deborah. There we go. One of us solved it. The next one is the enrollment promotion. So, actually, babe, please don't steal my thunder on this one. This is just for me and the team.
You can take it, baby.
So the enrollment promotion, really great, is that if you sign somebody up, they will get 50 PV and you will get 50 PV. What we mean by signing somebody up is if they buy over 100 PV, and they become a wellness advocate or they become a wholesale customer, so they sign up to an account, generally they're going to buy a family essential kit or they're going to buy a home essential kit for that. Then both of you receive 50 PV or 50 product points, which is great. Plus, if you do that more than 3 times, so as someone doing the business, this can't be for a wholesale customer, but someone doing the business, a wellness advocate, if they enroll 3 people this month with over 100 PV, you obviously get the 50 product points, so that'd be 150 product points. Plus, you also get an exclusive webinar. You get to go on the exclusive webinar with Dr. Hill. Now, obviously, it's not going to be just you and Dr. Hill. I'm assuming there's going to be several thousand on it. But if you don't do the 3, you won't be able to go on the webinar. So that's a cool little reason to go on and do 3. And then we've got, which we've never had in the UK, and
we've been begging for it.
Campaigning for the reactivation campaign, and they've finally given one to us, and this is great. So the only stipulation is that somebody mustn't have ordered a thing, and I know everyone's going to come back and say, what if they've been on LRP with just 5 PV? That counts. Okay, and that counts. All right, so if they have not bought anything for 3 months in a row, it's not 3 months intermittently for the last year or something, they've missed 3 months, no, that does not count. It's 3 months in a row, then if they spend 100 PV or more, if they spend 100 PV, then they get a balance free. If they spend 100 PV and go on LRP, so they do it on an LRP order, they get a balance and an on guard. And if they do 125 PV, obviously on LRP, then they're going to get the balance, on guard, and the breathe. So it's a great one for you to help those go back into your team and have a look at the people that haven't ordered for 3 months and tell them about this deal. Let them know. Don't just blitz an email to everybody. Don't just spam Facebook on them. Give them a call, I would. All right. And also just make sure that they're your enrollees. And if they're not your enrollee, get permission from the enrollee to contact them. Okay? Because a lot of people will be fine, but some people in your team will be practitioners and they will not want anybody else contacting their people. So just make sure that you get permission.
Or better still, get them to do it themselves. Enroll them into doing it.
That is why Rebecca is successful, because she comes up with these ideas.
Duplication,
yeah. Okay, so last week's challenge was the most hosted classes booked in for March and April in total. First place goes to Nikki K.
Yes, Nikki.
Well done, Nikki, with 9.
It's amazing.
So Nikki wins the Rose Touch. Rachel Wood gets second place with 8.
Excellent.
Rachel, you win the Jasmine Touch. And third place goes to Ali Rabjohns with 7. Well done, Ali. And you get the Neroli Touch.
That is so amazing. You guys are going to be laughing the next couple of months because all your classes are booked in for you. Brilliant. Really good.
Well done,
really,
guys.
Really good.
And if you haven't received your prizes yet, some of them haven't been sent, so they will be sent this week. Okay, so don't worry. They're on their way. Top enrollers. Woo! Round of applause first. So we've got a lot of enrolments going on. So we've got Annalie, who did 9. We've got Nikki K, who also did 9 enrolments. We've got Miranda and Robin and Vanessa, who did 10 each.
Woo-hoo.
We've got Saskia out in Germany. We've got Debbie and Jackie, who did 11. We've got Narcisco. I believe he's in Canada. Well done, Narcisco, and welcome to our team. And Kirsten, who did 12 enrolments this month.
Amazing.
And we've got Hannah out in Norfolk and Rochelle on 13.
Amazing. And Hannah's brand new. And Nikki K was the first month as well. Don't know about anyone else.
And then we've also got Claire on 14. Well done, Claire.
Amazing.
Second. And then we've got, we'll just forget those guys. There we got Lindsay and Daniel. Lindsay gets this one.
Yeah.
Just Lindsay on this one. Lindsay gets 24 enrolments this month, Lindsay.
Amazing.
Ooh.
And we'll find out in a second what that meant for them.
Anyone would think they were working. So
amazing.
We would like to now recognise the elite. Oh, first of all, a round of applause for all the enrollees, top enrollees. Well done, guys. Thank you for working so hard.
Brilliant enrolling.
Then we've got 2 pages of elites, so we'll go through it quite quickly. Congratulations to Angela, Natalie, Tracy, Helen, Rebecca, Lucy, Francesca, Susanna, Georgie, Jill, Joe, Carly, Louise, Rosanna, Mahala, Saskia, Seb and Ali, Hayley, Raji, Nikki, Melody, Treve, Shanaz, Heather, Alison, Emily, and Hayley. Well done, guys. A lot of elites. I can't even count them. What are you doing, babe?
It's meeting.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And then we've got premiers. We've got Gemma Burke, Alison Thomas, Daniel Marshall, Liz Hind, Sabine Hope, Desiree, Sheila, Gemma. Oh, I've done Gemma twice. Well done, Gemma. You've gone twice. Lucy. And I've done Sheila twice as well. Sheila, you guys deserve to double, I think. So congratulations to all our premiers.
Congratulations.
Well done. Probably sounds really loud, doesn't it?
We're probably deafening everyone. Everyone's turning down their volume.
I know.
Ooh, silvers.
And then silvers.
Exciting.
We'd like to congratulate Kirsten,
Woohoo,
Georgina,
Kirsten.
and
Yay.
Christine.
Yay.
Well done on getting to silver, guys.
That's amazing.
That's really good. And I think Kirsten went from I've never even heard of Kirsten before like this
Who
month.
is she? Who is she?
I don't even know.
Guys.
Oh, there you are. Oh.
There you are. There you know.
I'm Chris. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, so Kirsten wasn't elite before this month. Is that right, Kirsten? You've gone from less than elite to silver.
Yep, I did it.
Well done.
Yes, you did. And you worked your butt off. You did amazing. All pays off.
Yeah, and well done to Georgina and Christine.
Really well done.
We've got a new gold. So we've got Arabella. Arabella, are you on? Well done for going gold, Arabella. Congratulations. And I really tried to stalk your Facebook page and find a really decent photo.
We didn't find any.
I couldn't find one that I thought she
Thank you.
would be upset
Here
with
she
me.
is. There you go. The real life.
There you are, Arabella.
Did we want to get Arabella to share
Maybe
afterwards?
Yeah, afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. Congratulations,
We're gonna
Arabella.
hear
Well
from
done.
Arabella in a second. Well done.
And we'll hear from
Amazing.
Arabella some of her tips in a minute. We'd like to recognise Chloe.
Woohoo.
Congratulations, Chloe. I'm not sure if you're on, Chloe. I know you've got a busy Easter. If you are, come and say hi. But Chloe's went
Are you
platinum.
recording, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that? I don't forget stuff like that.
Sorry.
Chloe went platinum, so we just really want to congratulate
Really
Chloe.
exciting. We tried calling you, Chloe, so we'll keep trying. We'll keep stalking you. There's no escape.
She's having a rest.
Yeah.
And we've got some great news. Lindsay and Daniel are diamonds.
Yay!
Woo! Congrats.
Diamond! Shine bright like a diamond. You're next. You're bar.
Are you guys on? I just want to say well done to you guys.
They definitely are. We're going to hear some tips from them as well.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Congratulations, guys. They're
so
hiding.
exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, so back. Let's do tips.
So,
Okay, so we saw Arabella. So I'm going to ask Arabella first of all if you could just share a few tips and what you love about this business. Share with us.
Hi, and thank you. What my biggest tip is gratitude. I'm so grateful to these oils and that I just have these oils in my life, and to my amazing builders who've really helped me get here, and to my amazing uplines, Sarah, for all her support, amazing support, and you guys and Emily and Chloe for inspiring me and being there for me too, and just to everyone really, and to these the plants that have grown these oils, the farmers, the whole everything. I just feel so grateful. So that's one tip, and then just being passionate about these oils I think is another tip, and keep going, never give up. That's all I can really say.
Excellent. That's brilliant. They are the key things. I think you've nailed them. So thank you.
Well, I don't know about that, but it's amazing. So thank you.
Oh.
Thanks, guy. I'm just so grateful.
Well, you've done great,
That's
Arabella. Well
lovely.
done. Congratulations.
And it's so true. Do you know what? I think the gratification. If you have gratitude, then things just flow more, don't they? And I think that's a really, really good point.
It really helps when you can feel it in your heart as well. That really helps.
Absolutely. And people feel it from you. So thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Enjoy being
Very
done.
much.
Very good rank. Cool. And then now we're going to pass over to our new shining bright diamonds. Diamantes. Come
And
on.
They've got the whole call now.
They've got the whole, we didn't tell them. Over to you guys. How did you do it? What's the secret? What's the secret, Linz and Dan and Luke? Have a baby, obviously, as a secret.
It works out. I think I love what Arabella said actually about just being grateful for the oils, and I think the impact they've had for us has been huge. I can't emphasize that enough. I think that's been a huge thing in all our classes. I think the other thing was to set your target and aim high, but be realistic about it. So we weren't going to go, let's just go for it in March. We're going to go for presidential because that would have been stupid. But it was a really lovely thing that's been amazing has been working with Becky and Nathan to set some targets, to make a plan. So set out what our target was, and then made a real plan. And every week, and it was really, really helpful. I think that's possibly the most helpful part of it, was actually knowing what we were doing each week towards reaching that goal. So work with your upline to set your weekly plan in the 2 months leading up to it. It doesn't happen by accident. I think that's probably the biggest thing that we've got from this, is that the other ranks, they haven't happened by accident. There's definitely been some effort and hard work, but I think this one has been the most strategically, I think. So it definitely wasn't by accident. So, and that's just been amazing to see it actually happening. So that's been really good. The other thing is leading by example. So I know that we've spoken about this, is not just kind of saying, oh, well, you need to sample these people and then follow up and then teach classes and start kind of going into, I know I've heard a few leaders talking about management mode, and that's quite a dangerous place to be. And I think it's really important to lead by example and be doing these things, so that all the fears that all the new people who are joining the business are feeling, well, you're feeling them too. And so it's relatable, so you can really feel how they're feeling as well. And I think that's really important as well. And also the excitement of, a really good class where lots of people signed up. And that's really nice to get that buzz with them as well. And then discussing placements. I think Nathan got quite sick of having, I've got these people, where should I place them? Where should I place them? I would say Becky would too, but definitely call Nathan about that one. And I think just talk placements. Figure out what the best place for it. It doesn't mean that you don't know, it just means that it's nice to have a sounding board. Daniel was, being able to discuss it with Daniel, although he'd say, well, you know where to, but there was like, no, I need you to help me. But having some sounding boards that will help you to be able to figure out where to place them so that your strategy works. And then the last thing I'd say is just be ready for some really good days and some really bad days. And we definitely had lots of both, definitely some ups and downs. And when I was in teaching, actually it was one of the things my dad said to me when I was teaching. He's a teacher too. And he'd say, some days the bear eats you and some days you eat the bear. And I think that totally applies to doTERRA, partly because it is teaching. But one of the amazing things is that you might have a really awful class where, well, no one turns up, so then that's not a great class. Or even worse, one person turns up, so you have to do the whole class anyway. That's your whole evening gone. You need to think about it, and then nothing happens. And that's those ones that are really frustrating. And then sometimes you have some people who are just quite difficult and not very nice, and that's the bear eating you. But the next day is a whole new day, and you get to go and do the whole thing again, and then you can eat the bear, meaning that, you're the one who kind of, things happen in a positive way. One day doesn't necessarily have to impact on the next day, so it's a whole new set of people, a whole new set of lives to affect, and that I think has been the biggest part of it. So the other thing is sharing in the excitement of your team. I mean, we've got a team WhatsApp group, and I don't think there's been as much action on there as there has been this month, and it's just been amazing. Some just beautiful people on there that we're working with, and I think that's what's kind of shone through this month more than ever. So just a few people who have absolutely just gone for it. I don't want to name anyone just because I don't think there would be one person over another, but I think just been amazing, just amazing. So I think that's, the gratitude definitely comes through, and it's just been really exciting. I can't believe it's here, and I'm going to swap places with Daniel because Luke's quite tired. The one last thing, actually, one of the days where I do want to share is those realistic days. It doesn't quite necessarily happen. Daniel said, I think you should share that just to show real life. I spent 5 hours in a meeting with someone, thinking, you know, this is going to be our next builder, it's going to be amazing. She's a nutritionist, it's going to be amazing. Just give me an next front liner, blue diamond leg, it's going to be so good. Anyway, so 5 hours later, she said, I'll just get a lemon and I can't remember the other one, a breathe or something. I was like, okay, that's fine. Oh my God. And I think that's one of the times it doesn't quite work out, and sometimes it does. But you know, you keep going, you pick yourself up again, and you know, like controls, and I think that really, really helps. So that over to Daniel, who'll be much more methodical about it.
Thanks, Lynn. Hey, Daniel.
I think the internet's going down, so
I'm
not sure if everyone can hear us, but I'll just be very, very brief. It's been really amazing. I was speaking to someone earlier saying that when Lindsay started doing this, I used to say, well, that's your time you're using. I have my me time, which I'm going to do things that I want to do, like cinema and hang out with my friends. You're deciding to use your time to do a little bit. Nathan and I have probably eaten more humble pie than anyone I know. So an encouragement to any men out there, don't just accept that this is amazing. Splash some oils on you. Use it if you have a sore throat. Oregano, that's how it worked with me. Yeah, and now we've got to the stage where I literally talked to anyone about oils. I was in Toys R Us and they were closing down and the lady felt really miserable, and I said, why don't you come and work with us doing essential oils? The postman was like, oh, my shoulders are really hurting me. I said, really? That's something called Deep Blue. And then I've got a couple of fish, and I always try and go to the fish shop, and they're carrying around heavy things as well. So I told Lindsay I've got to keep going back there to follow up. So actually it's really good you can sample anyone at any time. So the only thing I would share is that when I started with Lindsay, I thought maybe I could reinvent this whole thing and find a better way, and you can't. There is no better way than keeping it simple. So if you sample someone and then follow up with them and ask them how they got on, and if it was a good thing and they had a good experience, get them to a class. If you can get people to a class with a good experience and then ask them, I really like that saying, bring a friend or 10, just invite them to come, and after a good experience, tell them, share, get them to experience the oils, and then just ask them which kit they'd like to buy. You have a great chance of people actually buying and putting them to the test. So just keep it simple, follow what Becky and Nathan have done, which is what we've tried to do. Be part of these online classes. We have so many resources available, just use them and then just give it your best shot. And that's kind of what we did this month. We're both really tired, but it's totally worth it.
Totally worth it.
So there you go.
Saskia wants to know how long you've been doing doTERRA, Lindsay.
And we've lost them.
So I've been doing it for almost.
Oh, no.
Hello?
Hello, it's fine, carry on.
You with me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Just, yeah.
Okay, so I've been doing it for 4 years, and been sitting at silver till last summer.
Yeah.
Last summer. So it was silver last summer. So Becky and Nathan dragged me to silver. It was definitely just me at that point, and then Daniel's now dragged us to diamond.
Don't think it was quite like that. But yes, no, yeah.
But just for people that to give them hope for their husbands, you know, how long?
Yeah.
It was 3.5 years, right? Daniel, you've been doing what, 6 months?
Yeah.
Is it longer?
6 months.
Yeah. And actually that was one of the things that I remember talking to Becky and Nathan saying, Nathan kept saying, should I talk to Daniel about it? And I was like, no, it's not a good time. I don't think this is going to work out. He's not interested. It's not, you know, and you don't want to push him because he might go the wrong way. Anyway, this is now where we are, but I think that's a good point actually, Nathan, that, you know, the ones that you never think will be interested, don't give up.
Yeah,
I think the biggest thing is to have someone who's supportive, and whether that person is your husband or your sisters, just, you know, someone who's supporting you, like, you know, someone who's a cheerleader who can pick you up on those down days and actually know what's going on. And it doesn't, you know, sometimes it's not your partner or your husband, but it's even better if it is. So.
Thank you, guys.
So just be patient, all you women out there who want your husbands, or maybe the husbands that want their wives to come on board. Sometimes it's that way around.
Yeah, I've been begging for
If
it.
Daniel does it, then any husband can do it. That's what we're saying. Your husband too could go around with Deep Blue in their man bag one day. Cool. Oh, thanks so much. Really,
Congrats,
really
guys.
good tips.
Really proud of you.
Really proud. Very proud. Cool. Okay. Back to the PowerPoint, huh?
Wellness consultation.
The wellness consultation. Where is it, baby? Oh, down here. Right.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're just going to quickly do this. Oops. So, okay. So, on to the second month then. So well done for all the ranking, all the enrollments. And like we've said all along, if you didn't, if you didn't achieve the 10 enrollments that we set, or I think it was 10, then don't worry, don't be discouraged, don't think, oh, I'm rubbish, don't think any of those negative thoughts at all. Celebrate the small successes. So if you enrolled one more than last month, or if you did your first class, or whatever it was, celebrate that. This is all about advancing, rank advancing. It doesn't have to be in 2 months. We put this program on to help those of you that want to do it in 2 months, but it's also for those of you that just, want to be inspired and just, you're on your journey. So, please don't be discouraged. So whatever you did last month, be grateful and be happy for what you've achieved.
And anyway, you weren't supposed to rank till next month.
Exactly, these keynotes, flipping heck. So this next month is the ranking month. So for all of you that are still wanting to rank, then this is your month to do it. So really, really push for it. You've got convention coming up. I just want to say, and I think I've said it once before, but again, it's coming up really quickly. A big strategy that's going to really boost your team is getting as many people as you can to convention. Okay, even just friends that you think would like the oils, try and talk to them about the oils before convention. But it doesn't have to be for those that are just coming to do the business, or who have committed to the business. It's a really good way of exposing people. We're going to have the doctors, scientists, the CEO there. It's going to be really inspiring. So I would strongly suggest trying to get people to convention. But anyway, so this month for Elites and Premiers, here's your glance at the whole month, so you can kind of see what you're going to be doing. So week 5, then, this is about sampling people. No, this is, yeah, this is right, isn't it? Where's the wellness consultations? You've done it all differently here. Yeah, I like it. It's really good.
It's definitely
a good
right.
form. It's a good format.
Definitely.
It just looks different to what I did. Yours is much better. So we're focusing on wellness consultations a lot this month. So we want to get people onto the loyalty rewards program, and that's what we're going to be talking a little bit about tonight. And then you've hopefully got some hosted classes booked in. Some of you have got 7, amazing, the next couple of months. But hopefully you'll have 1 or perhaps 2 at least. So it's getting those people sampled and building that relationship with those people. Or if you haven't, then you want to be focusing on sampling some more people this week, or just starting to create that relationship so people can come to the classes quite warm. So this week is about preparation again for those classes and getting those wellness consultations booked in. So we'll be talking about that today. And silver and golds, similar. So again, your hosted classes, finding people if you don't have them. You've also got follow-up classes that is something you may have decided to do. And so it's about getting people onto LRP this month. Is big focus on that. And that will really help to add to your volume.
We've got to react. Oh, no, sorry, I don't know why I was talking there. Reactivation month is not LRP. I mean, if they've not been with 3 months, then you can use that. So
well, reactivation month, great. That will all add to the volume.
Yeah,
So it's all about ranking. So,
for the silvers and
certainly.
golds, there will be, you know, a lot of you that will go through and be able to get people that haven't ordered for 3 months onto LRP, and that will be part of that.
Absolutely. You know, use that reactivation month. That won't probably happen again this year. Like Nathan said, it's never happened before. So really make the most of that. Go down, do a scrub. So go down and look at all your people on your tree, see who hasn't been ordering, and call them first of all, you know. But you can also call those on LRP if you get time later as well, and trying to get them to place a bigger order as well. That's always a good
Do you want to do this week's challenge yet?
No, I'm just going to do it now.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
it's going to now come off.
All right.
Do you want to announce this week's challenge? Dun, dun, dun.
So this week's challenge, that's not most hosted cut. I changed that. Okay. So this week's challenge, I basically 10 minutes before I came on, I hadn't saved the PowerPoint and it crashed. So part of what I did obviously hasn't saved. But I found it again. So it's not most hosted classes book, because that was last week's. However, this week's challenge is the most wellness consultations booked this week. Okay. So it's the most wellness consultations booked this week. Not that you have booked in already this week. Okay. Not that you had booked in last month. Not that you have booked in next week already. It's what do you have booked in
From now
from now
to next week.
till next week. So you can book them in for April, May, June. Hopefully not June, because you're going to do them quite quickly. But so that's because we're talking about the wellness consultation today. So that's the challenge for this week. And first, second, and third place will win the following prizes: frankincense, a frankincense touch, or a myrrh. Okay, for third place.
Brilliant. Cool.
And then the Q&A for the wellness consultation is this Wednesday evening, because it's Easter holidays, at 8 o'clock in the evening for elites and premiers Q&A.
So we're just doing half an hour for each.
So yeah, you're right. It's the 4th, not 2nd.
Yeah.
That's that again. And then 8:30 for silvers and golds.
Perfect. And that's the end of yours, isn't it?
Excellent.
Okay. Right. So I'm just going to try and be quite quick because I know it's Easter holidays. Okay. So we just start sharing. Okay.
That's okay, yeah.
Thank you. So this is actually on the Dropbox link. Don't know how to do that.
Just click it.
So the wellness consultation, or the second enrolment, some people like to call it, or the membership overview. Obviously, you don't tell them it's a second enrolment, but that's just something you can have in your head. So I'm just going to do some quick training on this. I am going to post this PowerPoint onto the both of the RAC groups, so you have that. So I'm not going to go into it in as much detail as what's on the slides, but I just want to cover some main points of this. Because the wellness consultation really is such an important activity in the doTERRA business.
So important.
So important.
So important.
Thanks, Amy. Because of this fact. So doTERRA have the highest retention rate out of any other network marketing company out there. In fact, it blows the other ones out of the water, with the national average being only 13%, whereas in doTERRA, 64% plus, it's gone up now, of people will order every 3 months at least. You know, and a lot of this is going to be down to that wellness consultation. So yes, doing the class is really important and all that warm-up work and as much of that as you can do is great, but the wellness consultation is where that all is going to really get confirmed into them. So these are the skills, you know, you need to be able to do. So if you're thinking, what do I need to be able to do a wellness consultation? This is it. So it's, you know, you can go and learn these things. If you haven't done one before, don't worry. That they're straightforward. And again, like with everything in doTERRA, you make it your own. So after you've kind of followed the absolute formula for a few kind of wellness consultations, bring your personality in it, make it your own. That's where these things really shine more, is when you're yourself, obviously, and add your own bit into it. But you need to be able to look up ailments. You need to be able to understand, to teach somebody that, you know, if you look up an ailment, you don't use every single oil. You know the way that the oils are listed, that the top ones listed first are the ones that are going to be the most commonly effective on most people. You need to know the basics of the back office. So if you don't, just go on to your back office, have a little play around. You need to be able to place the orders, obviously.
So fun. The back office is so fun.
or get your husband on quick so they can find the excitingness in the back.
It's like a little playground in there. So exciting.
And you need to be able to teach the LRP and the benefits of the LRP with confidence, and you need to be succinct with it. So you don't want to be blowing on for forever about the LRP in this. So my advice to you all, if you're not that confident with it, is to practice it in front of the mirror quite a few times, or with somebody, so you can get it.
The mirror won't be fun.
Can it record yourself, post it on the group, would you? You want to make it really succinct, and then try explaining it to someone that doesn't know anything about LRP, and make sure you're making sense.
Rebecca did used to practice it to herself. I'd hear her in the bedroom.
No, I didn't. Don't know what you're talking about.
Definitely did. I remember it. Along with your
Anyway, moving on. So, how to book them? I have people say that they find that they're trying to stalk people, and it's really hard to get people to commit to a wellness consultation. My advice is, I was told, or I heard a training somewhere that said, try and book the wellness consultations at the actual event. I found this sometimes unrealistic. I tried to, but often I didn't have my diary with me. I forgot my diary, which wasn't helpful. But then, when you're speaking to them,
it's on the phone, by the way.
They often, I don't have my phone. They often don't have their diaries with them either. So what I do tend to do, though, is I will mention it to everybody who signs up, and I'll say to them, when would a wellness consultation be, suitable for you? Are you best in the evenings, in the daytime, morning, afternoons? And when can I call you to book an appointment in? So I'd really recommend doing that, because otherwise it can be one of those things that just doesn't happen, because, you're chasing people the whole time, and we don't have time to chase people, do we, when we're enrolling this many people, as we are, all of us. So, you've got to, that's a smart way of doing it. Tell them the purpose. You want people to, so when they're signing up, you have that little chat with them, or they give you their form, say to them, because you would have mentioned it at the end of the class, hopefully, that they will get a free consultation. But it's their time with you. In the class, it's very general, isn't it? But in the consultation, it's their time to ask their specific questions, and you're going to give them that one-on-one attention. So make them feel, excited about that. Also, you're going to say, look, you're going to be getting 25% off now with your account, but there are a whole lot more benefits you can get. You can be getting quite a lot more money off with your account, and I'll go through that with you in your consultation. So you're just planting that little seed. And then something that I recently heard another leader was doing, and I've started doing, which I really like, is you can tell them they're going to receive a little gift bag as well that you'll bring to the consultation, or you'll post to them if you're doing your consultations online. And that gift bag really, it can be very, very simple and very cheap. So I put a deep blue sample sachet in there, a toothpaste sample. If they've got children, a PB Assist little sample. And then you can put a shampoo and conditioner sample in there as well. And I like to call this the LRP bag, because obviously it's getting them, I think it's a good name, isn't it? Quite obvious, really. But it's getting them onto LRP, because it's the things they're going to be using every single month. So essential resources, you need these, you've got the welcome pack. I would take your welcome pack with you to the consultation, just in case they've misplaced them or whatever. If you're doing it online, then just kind of send them a link to the Live guide online, because that's what you're going to be going through. In fact, I would send them the link to the share and the build as well. Optional resources. Now, I say optional, but I really do recommend taking these to the consultation, because, we're focusing a lot more now on the lifelong vitality, aren't we, I think, as a team. And some of you may have been doing this for a while now, but in the class, we'll talk about it. Now, lots of people in the class, I say to them, look, probably best to go onto the Home Essentials kit now, because you get, that's the best price for the oils, and you get a diffuser. And then go on the Lifelong Vitality next month, and I'll tell you at your wellness consultation why this is a really good idea, so you can collect points when you purchase this next month. And it's a 30-day, I've done a 3-day, that wouldn't be very incentivizing, would it? But a 30-day money-back guarantee. What are you doing? So you can say to people that it's a kind of a no-brainer one. So at the wellness consultation, it'd be really good if you've had a personal experience with it. So I really strongly recommend going on this if you haven't already. or having so many incredible experiences, even just more energy, or a better digestive system, put nicely, things like that you can tell by these outward things that it's going to be helping you on internally as well with other things. So it's great if you have an experience, you can really kind of just share with genuine passion again how much these will change their lives. And if they're serious about their health, which they obviously are, they've invested in these oils, by doing the supplements helps the oils to be more effective as well. And so it's a no-brainer way of getting on the LRP, because they'll start collecting points and they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So it's a really good one. And it's such a great thing to get people on, because it's so beneficial for them, but also they will stay on the LRP. So also I've put in there, take your favorite products. So if you have these, if you're very new to the business, you won't have these products yet, but I would start collecting some of these kind of no-brainer LRP things, like the soap, the hand soap, the On Guard concentrate. Try the shampoo and conditioner, the toothpaste, the things that people use anyway in their everyday life. And so if you've used them, you can then say how much you like them, or some of the skincare range, and take a couple of these things with you to the consultation, so they can just smell them, maybe have a little go of the moisturizer, or things like that. That's really good, just to help everyone see why they would want to go into LRP. Basically, it's all building up to the LRP without them knowing about it. So this is the purpose. I'm not going to go into this, but obviously it's for them. Yeah, it's all personal. LRP, and the purpose for you is to help them be independent, but also to obviously develop that relationship. And it's a great time to suss out the whole user share a builder situation a little bit more. And some people take a lot longer than this to decide, but it's given them a bit more time since the class, and now you get another touch with them to kind of see about that aspect of it. So number one, you're going to check they've received their oils. You want to see if they've got the app or the book. And now I've started doing an incentive where if people do decide to place a 100 PV order for LRP, that they'll get a free Modern Essentials book or the Essential Life book. So
What?
It's good. It's good business, baby. It's good. It's a good strategy, isn't it? I think it's really good.
That in
It's
my
really
sales
good.
spreadsheet.
So it'd be good to maybe have an extra book of each of these, so you can then take it with you to the consultation. Or you could gift them the app. That's a lot cheaper. So if you're first starting and that seems a big step, or if you're married to someone called Nathan Bowles, then you might need to go for the cheaper option. Or you can think of something else that that's a gift, like the reactivation thing that doTERRA are doing now. People like free gifts, and that's incentivizing people to go onto LRP. The same thing. You just not in a salesy way. It doesn't have to be very salesy at all. Just literally, if you go on at 100 LRP, you actually also get a book. Just naturally like that, and that's quite.
I do actually think it's a very good idea to give a book, because it's empowering people.
Definitely. Now they may have already bought a book, so then it wouldn't be such a good idea.
Don't do that then. If they bought a book, don't do that.
But maybe you could have an extra diffuser, or if they bought the family wellness kit, maybe just have a couple of little things in your gift bag that you could give somebody if they go on 100 LRP.
In your P bag.
100 PV LRP.
Yeah.
So then you're going to introduce the welcome pack, give them their gift bag. This is a good point to kind of give them their gift bag, so you can kind of talk about some of your favorite products. So with the brochure, for example, I don't go through every single page with them. I'll just flick to a couple of my favorite things. But if you've got them, it's nicer that way. And you can just say, you can browse through this brochure in your own time. Okay. Yeah, and then just mention the sharing and building guide. It's just a great opportunity to say, look, we'll touch on this a little bit later, how you can make money with doTERRA, because it's a really great business opportunity. But we're going to focus today on the living guide, and I just get them to kind of just look for the live guide with me. Just basically, just kind of recap the main things, and it's really easy just to look at the live guide and say, look, there it talks about CPTG, talks about a few ways of taking the oils. Just to remind you, oils like oregano, you want to be extra careful, and the citrus oils and the sunlight. So just touch on these things and just ask them, go off them, like how much understanding did they pick up from the class, and Do they need some recap? Do they have any questions? That kind of thing. You don't want to spend ages on that. Yeah, really important to show them the customer services number, because you do want to get them independent so they're not calling you all the time as well. And also, I also like to explain about the names of the blends at this point as well. And you can just pick up one of the oils they've got and say, look, every blend has a different name on it. And you can just Google these if you get stuck when you're looking up in the book. And then you want to kind of start creating a wish list with them. So you've already planted the seed of other products at this point, because you've shown them some of your favorite things. You've talked about the lifelong vitality. So they're already kind of thinking perhaps of other things they want to purchase. But then you want to really empower them by helping them look up at least one ailment. This is what I try and do. So they can look it up and they can start creating their own wish list by looking up a specific ailment to them or their children or husband or dog or whatever. Find somebody. And they'll be confident then in looking up the ailments, or so they can start to create their wish list. And then I want to go into, this is generally the procedure I do, I want to show them, the price list. They have a price list that comes with their welcome pack. And you can say, you want them to feel really good about the purchase they've already made. So actually, when you are looking up ailments, say, isn't it, it's great you've got these oils, because as you can see, they're often in the ailments that you look up. But also it's nice to start collecting some of the other oils for particular ailments, because often it's the combination that will have the best effect. Or sometimes you might use this one, and other times you'll use another one. It's just planting that seed in. But also telling them, they've got the benefits. They have got their wholesale membership now for a whole year, to show them that price list, show them the savings they're making. So they're going to make 25% saving now every time they purchase. And with doTERRA, that's a massive saving on, certainly the more expensive oils. And then you want to introduce the PV to them at this point, just because it's there in the price list. So you can just say about the PV value, and it's just quite easy and quick at that point. And then you can lead on to, with your account, you actually have another option where you can save even more money just by purchasing through the Loyalty Rewards program, which is a very generous program. Works very generous. Works a bit like a Tesco Club card, but way more generous. So actually, you've in your first year, if you've been spending 100 PV, you don't need to say all this, but you would have earned about £300 worth of free product, we worked out. So you can just say that in my first year, I earned about £300 worth of free products just by purchasing for the Loyalty Rewards, stuff that I was already going to be getting. So I like, this is account education. It's not salesy. You're not going in there thinking, oh man, I've just sold them a kit and now I'm going to go and try and push them onto an automated monthly service.
No, they're gagging for the oils. They want them so badly.
Exactly. As Arabella said, this is amazing. This is such an incredible thing that you have gifted them with.
Well, that's the mindset really that you think they are really wanting them.
Exactly. It's perfect. And when people start using them, if they do start using them properly, they will have that same realization. So, this is about helping them see this as a lifestyle, and they're going to want to be purchasing other things. But that's why the hand soap is definitely a really easy thing, and the lifelong vitality and shampoo and conditioner, just to get them started, because they're very normal things. But it's about educating them so they can get those things for cheaper, because there's no point in them doing their standard order perhaps every 3 months and they spend quite a lot. It's much better if they spread it out, then they can collect points.
Yeah, it's good if you do make that clear. Just encourage them to only spend 100 PV and
or 50 PV.
Yeah, or whatever it is that they want to spend. And we encourage them, if they say, oh, I want this oil, this oil, this oil, this oil, and they're spending like 170 PV, I'll encourage them to spend it the next month for just to make, and that makes them feel good that you've got their back about them, which you do.
Exactly. I think wording it in that way, people always think, oh, thank you so much. You're not trying to get a massive order out of me right now. You're just telling me to actually not spend loads in one go, but to spread it out. And so people do. They feel
what's best for them. Well, it comes from coming from a genuine place that you want what's best for them. You don't want to maximise your money from it. You want to be making sure that they are spending what's best for them. So 100 PV or 125 PV is probably the very best thing for them, because that's what gets them the most product. Mm-hmm. Anything more than that, unless it's a 200 PV promotion, they don't really need to do unless they really have to have those oils. So just make that very clear to them.
And it is very generous of you because, you know, you do make fast start on anyone for the first 60 days. So in that respect, it would be great for them to go and place a massive order the next month. But actually, long-term business-wise, you want them to go onto the LRP. So it's better for you in a business sense anyways, the long-term. But you are being generous, you know, you're telling them. And that's what you've got to switch it to. Just like with the oils, you know, you want to get these oils in people's home and you're educating them as the best way to do it. Again, this is the last bit of education to help them understand this. So, and I like to use the last 2 pages of the Live Guide. You might want to go onto their account at this point. I know you prefer to do that on the account, don't you, show them the NLP, how it works?
Yeah, I just want to share like 2 minutes how I do it, because I do it slightly different to you. They might be interested in that because I do it online more than you do.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I'll just quickly say the way I often do it is certainly if I'm physically with them, is we're going through the Live Guide anyway, so it's kind of a natural flow. So it talks about the account, it talks about the NLP. You can just remind them about the PV there, but just use this chart that's in the book and just saying, you know, you only need to spend 1 PV every month to maintain your points, but every time you spend 50 PV, which is only about £40 worth of oils, then you will qualify for points. And so the first 3 months you'll get 10%, and 15, and all the way up to after 13 months you get 30% back in points on top of the 25% you're already getting off the actual cost of the oils. And then, what am I saying here? Yeah. So you can say if you're doing 50 PV a month, you're going to get £100 worth of free products. And by the end of that year, you're going to stay at 30%. So they're going to remain at 30%. As long as they just carry on with 1 PV order a month, they're going to always stay at 30%, which is a huge, huge savings. And then this chart, go on, do you want to share how you...
Yeah, and this is for customers. So you're coming from this generally, from a wellness consultation, 99% of people, you're going to be coming from a customer perspective. From a builder perspective, might be slightly, you'll add a few extra things in there about building and the back office. But generally what I do is, Rebecca's is much better at spending the time with the oils and educating, which is actually long-term much better.
Excel. Go on, say it.
I was about to say that, but I changed my mind. I don't want to say that really.
Selling it.
Well, I'm quite good. Is on the back office. So I tend to go to the back office quite quickly and show them how to sign up onto LRP quite quickly.
Done and dusted in 20 minutes.
All right, so job done, babe. Because a lot of people struggle with actually, because the LRP system is going to get better, but I don't know how quickly they're going to update it in the next year or two. So don't hold your breath, but it is going to be updated, because at the moment it's a bit clunky, not too easy to work out. So I generally do a Zoom call with them, and on the Zoom call I say, some of them will say, it's almost very easy to know whether someone's going to order or not because of what they're saying. Oh yes, I want these oils, these more oils. So you know that they're going to want to do an LRP order. So I'll say to them, well, if you'd like to do an LRP order, should we set one up now for you? And then you just do it for them right there and then, and show them what to do. That's what I do. Okay.
And you put up the chart online then?
Well, then there's a link online that you can click underneath, and it says why LRP, and you can click on that. Then that takes you to a video pop-up comes up, so they can watch that in their own time. And then underneath that video is the link to the LRP spreadsheet. Not spreadsheet, LRP PDF.
Chart,
yeah. So you then go to the PDF, and then I show them that. But to be fair, this slide here is the very best. This little table here is the very best table that there is to show you what an LRP does, not that PDF that I just told you about. This is better. Okay, so it's just clearly easy to see that to maintain your loyalty rewards points, you've got to do a minimum of 10 PV. Okay, it's actually 1 PV. Okay, a minimum of 1 PV. To earn points or to increase your percentage, you've got to spend 50 or more. If you want to earn commissions,
you don't say you've got to spend.
Yeah, obviously not.
You've read it differently.
Yeah. I do.
You only have to
I do, because my intention is that they're going to do it. So 100 is commissions. So that's when you earn commissions.
And that's good to drop that in then, because even if they're not interested in the business or they haven't said anything, it's just
you can earn money.
Opportunity.
You can earn money from this.
Drop it in.
Oh yes, you can. And then the free product of the month is 125. And then if you want to simplify your Power of 3 bonus, because you've got to do the 600, it's 150. So
I don't bother saying really.
So that's how to explain it really. No, baby, I think you're better.
No, you're good. That's brilliant. So, I think that is really good to do it online with them, because lots of people, are scared of online in a way, and until you've done it once, you kind of put it off as well, and they forget how to do it, and that can become a block. So I think it is a really good thing to do. So then I just mentioned about hosting a class to tell about the sharing guide, and saying, this is a great way to share with your friends, blah, blah. Did I put it on there? Yeah, would you like to host a class? There we go. Or recommend a friend. So lots of people won't host a class, but most people can recommend at least one person that they think would like these oils. So that's something you can do as well. So, is there a friend you can recommend? I'd like to give you a free rollable blend. Every friend you can recommend. And Vanessa Ovens, I don't think I've posted her rollable recipes, but they're very affordable ones, or you can do your own.
Or wild orange.
Yeah. You may have already given them a wild orange for something, but if you haven't, then, you can think of just something quite little. So the rollable blends that Vanessa's done cost, a couple of pounds at tops, or may even, be £1. So things like that you can give people as little incentive for recommending a friend to you. So that's sharing. And then the time to just mention the business a bit more. So just say, sharing the builder's guide and saying, this is an incredible opportunity. doTERRA reward anybody who shares the oils with people. That's, what they do. They don't do marketing or anything. And it's just a wonderful business where you get to help people and earn money. So if you're interested in that, then we can chat about that another time. And usually people will say something then. And I wouldn't recommend going into too much detail.
Because generally people will say, almost as soon as you mention it, no, I'm not interested in that. Brilliant. Then but generally some people will listen.
Yeah. And
because you've mentioned it, it tweaks their interest. But mentioning it is good. Now sometimes people will tell you straight away because they'll know, and so you'll know not to mention it.
Yeah.
Okay. But don't be scared to mention it, basically, because you're missing an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. Worst case scenario, they just say, no, I'm not interested in that side. And you go, brilliant, you can just be a customer. Which 95% of people are.
Exactly. And if they say they are interested, then say, great, well, I'll send you a little bit of information. And at the end of this consultation, let's arrange another time when we can chat about that. So just be really casual about it. Oh, great. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, well, let's move on. We'll talk about that later. Don't start sweating and getting really excited. Yeah, that's not a good response. So then this is when I would go onto the site. But Nathan's already done, talked about this, which is brilliant. So
when they're doing LRP, I'll show them the promotions, just show them the shop tab and how to order, really.
Yeah, simple. Just want to tell them the simple stuff about their account.
Explain the 15th of the month, etc.
And then you can ask them, like, say, if you want to set it up for them. And then if you want to, you can then go onto the dashboard just really quickly. If you're feeling like they're overwhelmed with all the information now, what you want to be doing anyway is booking an appointment to check in with them in about a month's time. You can say, look, I can go once you've done your LRP and once you've been on the Lifelong Vitality, or once you've been using your oils some more, let's have another chat so I can answer any more questions you have and show any, have a look at your account, and you might have some questions about that. So you really want to book in another appointment, especially if they're looking, a bit glazed over. You don't want to go into too much detail in this. But you do definitely want to invite them to some Facebook pages. And I'd recommend doing it there and then, because otherwise you forget. I forget. You might be more organised than me. Probably are. But I prefer to do it right there and then and check it's worked and everything. So those are some of the options you've got for this. So yeah, book them onto that.
And you'll have your own groups as well. Those are just ours and mums.
And that's the purpose of the follow-up, which we've kind of covered. Because again, when you follow up with them, you can ask them again if they can recommend a friend or anything, or want to host a class, and again mention the business again. So that's it. And this is, yeah, not for you guys. That was before. So they're kind of, I know, whiz through that. I didn't want to take up, because it's 9:30.
People are asleep trying to go to do their Easter Sunday, aren't they?
It's Easter Monday and we're doing a team call.
Okay, there was a couple of questions. I just got a couple.
Yeah.
Heather asked a question earlier on about the soft gels, and I have not got a clue, baby. So,
should we stop recording or should we keep recording?
Oh yeah, let's stop the recording when I say like honest stuff.
Honest.